Much as I thought I could plan a podcast, that is not going to happen. I do not have the mindset to sit here, chop up block for block how I'm going to tell you about weight loss and weight gain. Good evening on this March 4th, 2022. The time is 11:58 p.m. and welcome to Early in the AM with Isha. I'm just gonna talk to you for a little while until I feel better, until I pass out and go to sleep. That sounds like the best thing to do right now. Being in mourning, I guess. I scare myself sometimes. When you're in mourning like this, you're not supposed to. Like, the voice I have just sounds like me, but on the inside there's a difference. I can feel it. There's this missingness that's there. I kind of wasn't looking for it to be there, but it is. I'm so uptight. I can be so uptight. I can be stubborn too. It's only because I'm when I do something, I'm hard pressed on it at the same time. It's almost like I become one with it. It's like holding something in your hand, and then you clamp down on it, so you don't forget about it. And then you're not realizing that you're holding on to something so hard that you're becoming one with it. And you're not gonna separate with it if you need to let it go. And I think that's what I did with my aunt. This wasn't something gentle. That our relationship wasn't gentle. It was a really good dysfunctional. We were just clamped on each other in the most painful, irate places. And we cramped down each other so hard that you become one with it. Your injury is her injury. Her injury is my injury. It's like that's what it was. That's where we connected at, right at the knee. Right at the knee and the hip. Right in the arthritis. Okay, that's where you are. I know where you are. And that's where you expect to find them all the time. And that's not at the ice cream parlor. That's not at the park playing with your grandkids and letting your dogs run around and chase the geese. That's not, fishing off the pier at Pleasure Beach. That's some real dysfunctional shit. But that's where your comfort is. You're so used to being in pain, you find comfort in pain. And that's, you relate to somebody that way. You've already ruled out what mortality means. You kind of already ruled out, that pain is not a good thing. Now I'm mourning that she's not here. I remember she said to me one time, when God calls you home, that's it. Gone forever. And our little, I don't know, I'm not used to this. So many people in my family have passed away. It's just that this part of the family, my mom and her 3 siblings, we were, and then all of their children, which is me and my cousins, and then our kids, nieces and nephews. It's kind of been, this little tight thing where death just wasn't getting in. And then last year in December, the grandfather, which is my mom's biological father, just my aunt's father too, he passes away. And then 2 months later, my aunt passes away. It's just this big old reality check. But reality is getting too comfortable with checking me. I'm so tired of it. I'm just letting it in now. It's like I tried so hard, and it wasn't. I guess life dictates a certain way. And then here I am trying to include all this celestial power as part of the everyday process. And it just lopsided everything. They made the little things way too powerful, and then the hard things way too corrupt. I can't look at the sun like I used to. as this celestial being. As a human being is supposed to have that much power. Well, not that kind of power. I mean, the United States is kind of that way. We're a country that's based on, having rights and civil rights over, personal power to a certain degree. As long as you don't have absolute power within, you'll be a good person in the United States. People with that kind of power don't fare very well in the States. You gotta give up some type of persondom, to be successful here. You gotta be selfless in a way. All this invading of the Ukraine is dangerous. So dangerous. I'm making sure I'm not entrapping myself again. Because I get into these modes where I feel for people and I get into things, then I end up feeling like a pawn in a bigger scheme. That I can't get past the moment, like I'm being pigeonholed or trapped to a certain degree. So I'm making sure I'm getting to places where, I can see past this thing. I don't want to get too caught up in it. I went to Costco today. Ran around Costco with like a chicken with the head cut off, and they're taking down all these mandates from COVID. I think they're at this place where they can see, within the id in the human brain, they can see past it a little bit. It's like the flu of 1917. It's like 1915. They're seeing past it. You know what I mean? That cloud is kind of dissipating enough where regular life is seeping in. And there's other issues too going on with the housing market. So many people, so many lower class people or mid to lower class, stepping up into mid class. These people have been working their asses off. And then with this COVID thing going on, a lot of businesses opened up and people shut down, and they were able to save so much money. And these people got all these dollars saved up from all this unemployment, this extra stuff going on, and people, not having to go hang out at clubs and bars. They were saving all that money. And then they, all the nurses that were being used, and then they're working all this overtime and saving all this money. And these people got hundreds of thousands of dollars on tilt trying to buy homes. And they were flooding these markets. And then in that flood, a lot of people are drowning. A lot of lower class fixed income people are getting drowned out. In all the party cities like Miami and stuff like that, these people are flooding that market, and all these people who could afford the rent are being chased out. It's just like an influx. It's just one thing to another. The United States is the kind of place where I think a world court needs to be here. I don't know if you know what a world court is, but that's where like international trials are held. And I always thought that since the United States is such an international place, as much as it's home to us, it's nothing but immigrants. Nobody who was originally from the U.S. freaking lives here like we do. Everywhere you look in the U.S., it's Europe, it's Africa, it's India, it's Ireland, it's Italy, it's Russia, it's Germany, it's Asia, it's Antarctica, Antarctica, it's New Zealand, it's Hawaii, it's Alaska, it's Australia, it's everybody, it's Canada, everybody who has a home country, everybody is mixed into the United States. It would just make sense that a world court would open up here. And that type of international, like, law track, like litigating. I'm probably not saying it right. That type of presence here might like open up a highway of sorts for all types of new, But it's gonna cost the poor people in the end, and I've seen it since 2005. The way their things are crushing down on the poor. It's forcing them to step up. It's forcing them to explore outside the U.S. as an option. Because if the world keeps changing like it is in these pockets, these international pockets keep opening up in our securities. Russia keeps bum rushing in, and then, the Middle America, Central America, South America keeps crushing in. And then all these, social media platforms keep opening up, and all the entertainers keep becoming international, scattering out, and these people keep rushing in. It's going to require such an ordeal. It's going to require something, some type of three-stripe world court, just to keep things going. I mean, it probably won't happen in my lifetime. I probably won't be here when it does. It's going to be this huge court with, like, members or like judges, the most pristine from like every single country here in the United States, and they're just gonna run a certain type of universal law that everybody has to comply with. And then the little laws we think are just so important. The freedom of speech is so important. Freedom of speech is gonna transcend what we think it means. They're just going to turn the human body inside out and just redefine what talking really is. It's like, if you're going to talk out your mouth, you can't talk with your head. Or if you're going to talk telepathically, you can't play video games. Like, they're going to tweak on so many things. I don't know. Crazy ideas coming out of crazy head. Yeah, I do miss you, Auntie. I just can't talk to you like I want to, like I'm comfortable. You gotta be smart. You gotta be smart. You gotta take care of home. You still got a lot of life to live. And don't think you're missing out on anything. God, prepared you. He put you here for what He put you here for. You're doing what He asked you to do. And then when it's your time to go, you go. You ain't got nothing else to worry about. You ain't leaving nothing behind that needs you. Because you done built the way for them to always to have you. Even if it's just a little piece of you. Craziness. I was thinking about that too when I was studying for my degree in public administration. I was talking about world courts and stuff like that. I was like, I wonder why the United States doesn't have one. Like, all the entire planet lives in the United States. I'm wondering why we don't have one. It will only make sense. I'm thinking about making another rap album. I know. I done told myself I wasn't. That Rose Cane was that soulful album when I slow things down and I put my ip into it. But something in me wants to make some crazy gangster rap album, like a gangster album, like where I say the craziest things, like I run the street type of album. And I know where I came from. I freaking was watching the new installment of Real Husbands of Hollywood, More Kev, More Problems. And this is the one we got the clones, right? The evil clone, the one that was rogue, he was irate out in the street. There's this one scene, I guess he's pulling up to the space station. He's supposed to, I guess prepare to be in the capsule going out of space. And he's in his Rubicon Jeep. He's pumping some gangster song, and the shit was so gangster. I was like, that shit is out of control. And as soon as he turns the music off, it's like I want to make a rap song like that. I want to have some crazy beat, and I don't want to do the metaphors because I'm used to doing metaphors on hard beats. I want to just say the most crazy irate shit. Like I'm just mad as hell. They got me in jail, and when they let me out, I'm about to kill everybody. Nobody's safe. Like that type of song where people listen to it when they high or they with their friends and they just go buck, like that's how they feel too. That's the type of. I want to make a rap album like that. Only like 10 songs the most. The thing is with me, I be having these ideas, but I don't be having no money to buy the beats. I don't even know who to get the beats from. I be stealing everybody else's beats from YouTube. I'm like, these beats ain't hard enough. Or maybe I just need to just go back. Like batshit crazy. And let it be so crazy. So I'm like, yo, I want that song. That shit is crazy. I need to write something so crazy that it scares me. So crazy that when I go to listen to it, I drop my headphones. I'm like, I can't believe I made that. I don't want to hear it. Alright, Auntie. Even if I I can hear it right there. That's enough sometimes. I'm so used to it. I shouldn't be used to this. I'm not going to be used to this.